You're watching Nevada Business Chronicles. Take a journey with us to see the innovative businesses that put Nevada on the business map. Connecting you with the businesses, events, and organizations that bring innovation and prosperity to the Nevada area, please welcome your host, Mitch Burney. If you recognize this face, you should. This is Brett Edmonds, now Integrity1 Business Branding Solutions. Brett, good to see you again.
It's good to see you too, Mitch. Thanks a lot for coming out.
Big news.
Yeah,
the new company.
It is. It's huge news. You know, we've transformed our business from a decorator over to a distributorship, and the possibilities are endless of what we can do now. We were very diverse in our old decorating shop, but we're even more diverse now that we can provide clientele with much more items and much more apparel, much more promotional items.
Let's talk about what Business Branding Solutions is. And you just said it, promotional items, but it's deeper than that now. You are far more diverse than ever before.
We are. We work with a completely different clientele now. You know, we're working with ad agencies and web developers and those type of people. And what we can do for them is put just another little niche in their pocket for them. And we can be their good partner.
Well, let's take a look at some of the items that brand a business.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Well, this is business branding at its finest. Every business needs one of these.
You bet they do. If they go outside of their office to an event and they need their name displayed somewhere, there's a perfect opportunity to do it at a very low cost.
At the end of the day, it folds into itself so that it stays safe for the next event and it doesn't get damaged.
No, certainly.
Genius, affordable business branding.
Yes, sir.
Let's look at some apparel, because this is a very common way for businesses to brand themselves.
One of the most common and effective ways to brand your business is to always be wearing apparel that has your brand on it. And it doesn't matter if you're a company that needs it for safety, or if you're a company that is reselling it, or maybe you're doing it for school uniforms. We could supply anybody with the apparel needed to brand their own business.
Now, I'm noticing that there's different styles of application here. So let's talk about some of the diversity going on right here.
Most certainly. You know, apparel can either be screen printed or it could be embroidered. This is an embroidered hat. Different locations on your hats. You can embroider your shirts. Your safety vest can be embroidered on the front and then screen printed on the back. Just a nice lightweight jacket that has been embroidered. It's just beautiful.
And again, for a company like this, a safety item all at one time.
And not only safety, but you're not going to miss this employee.
This might be one of the coolest branding solutions I've ever seen. I didn't even know you could do this.
Those are mints. Just take them out. Very inexpensive.
And people will remember your name
Most
every
certainly.
Time they use this.
Certainly. They walk out of your office and they grab something like that. Or that's the fun part about the promotional end of this, Mitch, is that it is endless, absolutely endless. You can get anything you want to put your logo on. We have the ability to get it for you now.
This could be one of the coolest things, because everybody who fishes and knows Pyramid Lake would want one of these, and you supply Crosby's Lodge.
We do.
These pins.
We do.
If I have a 10-pound one, this is a 20-pound one.
You got to earn it. I take it.
Now let's talk about some of the other items that you have here, because traditional pens and pencils, but you have even an upscale version of that.
Even high-end pens. We can get pretty much any writing utensil you would like.
This is interesting. You talk about marketing and branding, and you've got a local store, and you want to leave somebody with your presence even when they leave your location.
When they leave, you know, they sell products and they put the products inside of that bag, and the customer leaves with their name.
Do you make decoys?
We do not actually make the decoys, but something really cool about this, Mitch, is that we could certainly personalize it for you.
And you can actually laser engrave them.
We can, right here in-house.
This is one of the things I love about Integrity1 Business Branding Solutions. If they can think it, you can probably deliver it.
Most certainly. We can put your logo on just about anything.
Well, let's look at some other items that are great for business branding. You know, 4th of July, and you want to give your clients a gift, and you can put your personal logo on. What are some of your favorite items?
Well, some of my favorite items are the fun items, like the squeeze balls. These are just, everybody's into the squeeze balls. Just like they're into the fidget spinners now, we could put your company logo on fidget spinners, squeeze balls, chapstick,
Golf balls.
golf balls.
Please call
Yes.
if lost.
If lost, please call this company.
It's great stuff because anybody who loses a ball, somebody finds it, they're going to know their company. It's branding
Exactly.
all at the same time.
Window stickers. We can do in clear background, colored backgrounds, different colors. Obviously, pens are a huge seller for us, but anything.
This is your catalog,
This is our apparel catalog.
apparel catalog.
Apparel only.
And this doesn't even count all the personalized items.
No.
This is the real deal. This is what a distributor is you can do anything a company could need to brand their company, not limited by the resources of the past.
That's exactly right.
I want to talk about these products because this really exemplifies the diversity of what you're capable of doing because you're a distributor and you work with other companies.
Exactly. You know, Mitch, this is something we used to do in-house when we were a decorator. We work with a fantastic local company that does the actual etching for us now. We do all the painting, the design work, artwork, and work with the clientele. But I just want everybody to know that we do outsource this to a great local company.
Some of the stuff you outsource, some of the stuff you in-house, but that's what integrity means. It's not just a name. It's
Exactly
who
right.
you are as a business owner and why I'm so proud to feature your new company.
I appreciate that. And that is how we run our company.
I might have to reconsider, and I think other golfers might actually join me. This may be my favorite item.
Yeah, me being an avid golfer, you know, I use a golf towel every time I go out. And why not personalize your own business on your
Every
golf course?
time somebody sees it, they think of your company, and it's more than that.
Divot tools, ball markers, you name it, we can put your company logo on it, and you can be advertising yourself when you're out playing golf.
Well, that's the thing that I love. I never really thought about all the ways that you can brand your business, and that's what you do.
That's exactly what we do, and we try to do it in a benefit your way.
Another option, it just never ends. That's Brett Edmonds, Integrity1 Business Branding Solutions. You can find them on the internet at integrity1bbs.com or give them a call at 775-870-9849. Brett, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks, Mitch. It's been a pleasure.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. Now more from Nevada Business Chronicles.
Today, we're at Opulence Salon with Morna Edmonds. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you for coming.
Opulence is a revolutionary new type of salon. So tell me a little bit about your business model at Opulence.
Well, we at Opulence want to create an environment that is very family friendly. When somebody walks in the door, they feel it right away. They know it's different and welcoming. We're all here to help each other so that we can be the best that we all can be and put out the best product there is.
I know traditional salons have, you can rent space or you can work for the salon, but what makes this unique is that camaraderie. What you just said, it's palpable when you walk through the door, you feel welcome, that everybody's working together. What gave you that idea?
Well, I've been in the industry for 30 years doing hair, worked in other people's salons, also did own my own salon years ago in a small town. And this just kind of all came together, fell in my lap, and we wanted something different so that everybody could be part of it without actually being alone in their own sweet situation where you're kind of still, there's a special feeling when you're all together, when you're feeding off of each other's excitement because something turned out so good or just something new, or it's just a fun family atmosphere. This is Trucy, one of our cut and color specialists.
Hi, Trucy.
Hi. She's working on Xavier. As you can see, he's a man. We do men here too. She's also going to be doing a cut with color and highlights. This is Lindsay, our nail technician, which she's much more than a nail technician. She is a nail artist. Today she's doing a 4th of July extravaganza on Jessica's nails. Jessica's 2-year-old daughter was born on the 4th of July, and she thinks that the fireworks were just for her.
They are.
So she loves her mommy's nails. This is Lisa Pike, our esthetician.
Hello, Lisa.
And she provides facials for men and women.
I love facials, had quite a few of them in my lifetime.
also waxing for both. And Lisa does eyelash extensions, the ones that volumize and lengthen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This is Jennifer Salazar, another one of our wonderful, talented color specialists.
Hello.
She's going to
Hi.
show you how wonderful she is with blondes.
So today we just did a root touch-up on Kelsey and thinned her out, did a little bit of texturizing in her hair, and then we're going to blow dry her and send her out.
This is Brooke Lindner. She's another one of our cut and color specialists.
Hi!
Also, Brooke does nail art on gel nails only.
Those are absolutely phenomenal. But Brooke, the hair, the color that you have here, so many layers of different colors, absolutely stunning.
This is Lucy Lee,
Hello, Lucy Lee.
another hair designer. She also specializes in toes. Lucy loves to do pedicures and nail art on toes. You can just pop in for a simple bang trim before a special event. Today, Cassie is getting a color change with a fun new short summer haircut. We also do complete makeovers.
When you first said that you wanted to create an environment that people could feel when they walked in here, boy, have you exceeded my expectations. There's just something you feel when you get to meet the staff that you have here, the team, the group, the family, that's really special. So, job well done. You also support some local artists. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I have two women that are my friends, they're sister-in-laws, and they make all of the decorations in here. So anything you see is available to purchase, or if you want something changed color-wise, they will do a ready-made order. Also, I have two different people that make jewelry, and so they're all local soap and lotion made in Truckee that she makes out of doTERRA oils because she was allergic to everything, so they're completely organic. You can even plant the wrapper, and the wrappers grow into flowers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
To be treated to opulence, you go to Opulence Salon at 9333 Double R Boulevard, or give them a call at 775-502-3353. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For more information on this guest or to see this show in its entirety, visit nvbusinesschronicles.com. While you're there, you can watch all of our past shows on the Chronicles page and stay connected with us by following us on our social media. Now more from Nevada Business Chronicles.
Quite possibly one of the most important conversations we'll ever have on this show is with our next guest, Pamela Zimmer, author, speaker, and mentor. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you for coming.
Your story is really responsible for what brought you into the industry that you're now serving our community in. So let's start with, if you don't mind, a little bit about Pamela Zimmer.
I am a mom. I have two little boys, Zach and Braden. I have an amazing husband, Will, and I used to be an architect. I had my own firm for almost 7 years, 13 years total in architecture, before I made that transition and quit my career for motherhood because I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And what I thought I was getting into, what I thought was going to be happy and everything I wanted, being home with the boys and my husband now off to work, turned into one of the darkest times of my life with postpartum depression. And the biggest lesson that I learned out of that, out of those years of struggling, was about self-care. And that's what I'm passionate about today, and that's why I do what I do, and that is what has spawned my whole business and the moms that I help today. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to have a career like my dad and be a stay-at-home mom like my mom. And when I got out of school, I got my bachelor's in architecture and immediately went into career because I was still single, so I figured that's the path I'm going to go down. A couple years later, when I started my own firm, met my husband, we wanted to start a family. It was right around the recession, and he was out of a job, and I still had my name on the door. So when our first son, Zachary, was born, I went back to work because that's what pretty much any other family would do. That's the decision they would make. And I hated it. I was miserable. And I thought that it was because I had to go back to work. But fast forward a couple years later, when we had our second son, Braden, and by this time my husband did have a job again, so I was able to create my exit strategy to get out of my firm. I had a business partner, so I gave the company over to him. Everything seemed like it was going to work out fine, and then 4 months after Braden was born, I was diagnosed with postpartum depression. And I remember the sort of my rock bottom. I call it my 3 a.m. story because that's what it was. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was nursing Braden in my room in the dark with just a tiny little light on the nightstand there, and I had chest pains, and I gasped and stopped, and it startled him, and he got right back to nursing and feeding, but I couldn't get that out of my head, and I honestly thought I was having a heart attack, and I was petrified and terrified, didn't say a word, finished nursing him, put him back to sleep. Next morning, still didn't say a word. But I went to Google, Dr. Google, right? And I looked up heart attack symptoms in women because I knew I had read about or saw an interview on TV or something that symptoms in women were different than those in men. And so I wanted to make sure I wasn't having a heart attack. And then logic kicked in, and I realized if I was having a heart attack, I probably would have been in the hospital, and I probably wouldn't be sitting here on my computer right now. So I typed in some terrifying words for me, and that was postpartum depression, because I had kind of heard about this thing called postpartum depression, but I didn't really know what it was. And what I read was shocking. I read and I learned that depression can cause physical symptoms such as chest pains and anxiety and back pain and headaches and body aches on top of all of the other feelings that I was feeling. So I held on to that even more for another 3 days, if you can believe that, and just sort of went through my day like a zombie, doing what I had to do to care for Braden, not really telling my husband Will, until finally my doula, who's like a birthing coach, I ended up at her house because she was concerned about me, and that's who diagnosed me. That's where that happened. And she said, you need to call your doctor and you need to tell him that you have postpartum depression, not that you think you have it, but that you have it and that you need help. And so I did that. I went home, and it was probably the hardest phone call I've ever had to make, but it's probably the phone call that saved my life.
First of all, thank you for being willing to be so vulnerable and to share that experience, because right now just being able to share that is helping others have a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to surprise a lot of people that this is more common than people want to know or talk about.
Yes, absolutely. It's actually the #1 complication with pregnancy and childbirth. And something shocking that maybe you don't even know, Mitch, is that it's more common than breast cancer. More common than breast cancer, yet far less talked about. The first thing I had to do was acknowledge what was happening, that this was something. It wasn't just me being crazy, unhappy wife. And looking back, I realized that I had been going through postpartum depression for almost 3 years, and that it actually started with Zach almost 3 years prior. And I was going through all of those years not even knowing what was happening to me.
I want to take a look at the program that you've created to help work with others to have a life worth living. And not just moms.
So I work with moms, but this is really about self-care, and who doesn't need self-care, right? So the main message of my program, it just starts with permission, and that's permission to know what you want and permission to do something for yourself. It's permission for self-care. And I work with people and we go through 4 different areas of their life. We talk about home, we talk about work, we talk about social, and most importantly, we talk about self, which is themselves, and getting them to see why it's so important that they incorporate a regular practice of self-care. And self-care not being just going to the spa and getting pedicures and massages and, you know, spending $800 at a retreat, which is fantastic, and I would love to do that, but it's also sitting outside and enjoying nature and having a quiet moment. It's going up to the lake, sitting by the water. It's taking a walk by the river. It's sitting outside with a journal. It's laying in bed for 2 minutes to visualize your day. All of those things. I like to tell people that you don't have to spend money for self-care to be worthwhile, but you do have to spend time. And that's the big piece of sort of the first part of my program, is the permission, and for them to understand. We go through a process of assessment because you can't change unless you first know where you're starting from. We go through a process of planning because we're all busy, moms, non-moms, everyone is busy. So how do I fit that into the reality of I only have 24 hours in a day? So I help people figure out what is a priority for them. What do they let go of? What do they say no to? Which again goes back to that permission, because when you say no to something or someone else, you're actually saying yes to yourself. And then we talk about alignment, getting your body and mind in alignment, because that's an important piece too. You have to be healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's all part of this big picture. And then the last piece of the program is commitment. You have to commit to you. You have to commit to putting yourself first.
Let's take a look at that average day in your life.
My husband's getting ready for work. I'm getting ready for work while I'm getting the kids ready for school. And we make sure things are in backpacks and lunches are made and water bottles are filled, and we get in the car and we go off to school. This is one area where we talk about controlled chaos, where I actually had to learn to give myself permission to just let it go. The dishes aren't put away. There's dishes in the sink. Could they go in the dishwasher? Sure, but I would rather leave them there and spend a couple extra minutes with my kids in the morning, because the dishes aren't gonna grow up, my kids are gonna grow up. There used to be a time when Braden leaving all of his little knickknacks and pencils and Legos and books on the counter would literally drive me crazy. Or he wouldn't finish his snack and I would put it away or throw it away or get rid of it. But what if he wants to come home from school and finish it? And what if instead of me being so frantic cleaning this up, again, I get to spend an extra minute with him? Or after they go to school, instead of me coming home and tidying up and making all of the toys put back in the bins instead of on the table where they left them, what if I get to claim some of those minutes for myself? What if it's the 5 minutes that I get to be outside reading or sitting or doing nothing? Because sometimes it's okay to do nothing, and it's a choice, and I had to give myself permission to make that choice, because I understood, and I understand now, and it's why I'm so passionate about it, why it's so important that everyone has to make that choice of where to find those moments in their day, because everyone's busy. I'm just as busy as the rest of them. I work from home. We have the kids, we have soccer, we have dinner, we have bath, bed, story, homework, all of that stuff. I choose to make myself a priority because I know that by giving myself 5, 10, 15, 2 minutes, it makes me a better mom, it makes me a better wife, it makes me a better friend, it makes me a better mentor for the clients I work with. It just makes me a better person all around, and who doesn't want that?
There's balance. I mean, I look around
Yeah.
and this is a well cared for house, but it's not to the point of OCD.
No.
And it's just that I'm feeling that they're not just in the morning in this, you found a few minutes, but throughout everybody's day, everybody's week, everybody's month, everybody's year, that there's a lot more time really available with minor shifts here and minor shifts there, that they think that they have to like necessarily schedule something on their calendar, which is also another choice.
It is a choice. It's just like you schedule a dentist appointment or a doctor's appointment, or you put your child's soccer practice and swim meets on the calendar. You have to make an appointment with yourself too, because self-care is one of the most important things that you can do, like I mentioned earlier. All it takes to start a practice of self-care is 1 moment. 2 minutes of deep breathing can do wonders for you. Standing up when it's your lunch break at work, whether you're working from home like I do or whether you work in a corporate office, don't eat lunch at your desk. That is a form of self-care, and it's so simple. Everyone can find those moments, but not everyone knows how to find those moments or how to start implementing them. And that's why having a mentor and someone who has been there and can give them the accountability and the support and the community and the tools and the strategies, that's why it's so important that everyone find someone like that.
It sounds also like those moments then free a person up to just have a better experience with their own quality of life. And as you said before, that impacts everybody in their world.
Yes, everyone.
Coworkers, employers, spouses, children, clients, and takes you from a place of anguish to where you are today in inspiration. And I know there's people all around the world right now saying, I want to work with you. I want to make sure they know how.
Yeah.
So how would they go about working with you in one of these programs?
So if someone knows that they're ready to talk to me, they can just go to talkwithpamela.com. It's a website, and they can just fill out a little application, and I'll be in touch. If someone's still maybe not quite sure and they have questions or they just want to get to know me a little better, they can always email me at info@pamelazimmer.com.
That is so fantastic, and I urge everybody to take the time for themselves. And it starts with just a phone call or an email. Thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you, Mitch. It's been a pleasure.